Hey, you. Yeah, you. Welcome to the Malaka podcast. Nightclub. To the beats. To the beats. To the beats. Holy shit. Fuck, I'm out of breath. Okay. I say that to say this. A lot of people love nightclubs. A lot of people love the fact that they can go somewhere, be seen, and not so much be heard. To me, that's pretty much what a nightclub is. Now, there's different variations of nightclubs. Some people have bar/clubs. Some people just have clubs that are very extravagant with lots of lights and different levels and, people doing whatever you can in the bathroom. And then there's other clubs where once you turn on the lights at 2, 2:30, or even 3 a.m., if you're lucky, they basically look like a glorified basement. But I'm not judging. Me, I've always been more of a bar guy, but people still love to go to clubs, even to this day. To me, it's always been more of a younger thing in the sense where once you become legal age to drink or are smart enough to get a fake ID, which I don't recommend, but at the same time, it's going to happen. You just want to check out what's going on in there. Like, what is the big secret? I mean, when I was in middle school, we would have school dances in grade 6, 7, and 8. And this is the closest thing we had to a club until we hit the ripe old age of 19. That's in Canada. In the States, it's 21. That's not my fault. But we would go in there. I remember when one buddy saying, "Are the lights going to be off?" And the teacher's like, "Yes." So there's nothing creepy about that. But at the same time, that's what it was. It was just getting all of us in like a big gymnasium, whatever. And, of course, people were shy to dance with girls. Some people didn't give a fuck. Me, I was stupid. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've been holding this secret in for way too long, and I'm just going to let you guys know this. Remember the song sang by Weezer there? Say it ain't so, oh, oh, your love isn't. That's exactly how it sounds, by the way. But I didn't even know. I thought it was a slow song. So I asked a girl to slow dance. And I did for about half the song. And then I had one of my buddies come up to me and say, this isn't a slow song, right? I'm like, I did not know that. Now in my head, I'm thinking, dude, I'm dancing with a girl. Fuck off. But then we looked at each other, me and the girl, and we were like, okay, well, I guess we got to stop. And we did. It was a little embarrassing. I'm not going to lie, but I have no regrets. But that was the closest thing that we had to a club back in the day. Now that I'm the ripe old age of none of your business, I can go wherever I want. But I still choose to go to bars. It's just my thing. It's more chill. But the whole nightclub experience, I'm not anti-club, not at all. I see why people want to go there. I just want to go to a good club. And let me give you a good example of what every club, if not a decent club, should have. And of course, this is according to good old Wikipedia. A nightclub, music club, or club is an entertainment venue and bar that usually operates late into the night. A nightclub is generally distinguished from regular bars, pubs, or taverns by the inclusion of a stage or live music, one or more dance floor areas, and a DJ booth, where a DJ plays recorded music. The upmarket nature of nightclubs can be seen in the inclusion of VIP areas in some nightclubs. For celebrities and their guests, nightclubs are much more likely than pubs or sports bars to use bouncers to screen prospective club goers for entry. Some nightclub bouncers do not admit people with informal clothing or gang apparel as part of a dress code. The busiest nights for a nightclub are Friday and Saturday night. Most clubs or club nights cater to certain music genres, such as house music or hip hop. Many clubs have recurring club nights on different days of the week. Most club nights focus on a particular genre or sound for branding effects. Now, this is all, for the most part, pretty true. This is what you need for the average club. It's obviously different than a bar. A bar is more chill. Club, you want to get out there, you want to dance, you want to pay more for drinks when you don't have to. It's just the experience of going out. But I just don't see the big deal in it. I really don't. I'll give you an example. One time, I worked at a bar / club. You can call it a nightclub at night, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I don't care. I talked about this before when I was a dishwasher. And, but what I didn't tell you is the stuff you got to deal with behind the scenes. Now, obviously, you got to help with prep and, make sure there's ice in the bins and everything's clean and blah, 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 blah. I was there half the time for like 9 months and I got drunk half the time. It was a good time. But I always tell people, going to a club and working at a club are two completely different worlds. Now, this became quite obvious to me on one special night. Now, I think I mentioned this before. When I first started working there, not even including my salary, I'd get $160 extra money. It was great. And then by the time I finished, it was half that after 9 months. That was horrible. But a lot of the bullshit you got to deal with behind the scenes is just a huge pain in the ass. First of all, the bartenders don't give a fuck about you. Male, female, they really don't. A lot of these guys, they're just there to get some extra money. That's it. They're there to please the customers. And you can't blame them. They do work on tips. You only get so much for being a bartender. And yeah, a lot of them just live on tips. But a lot of them really don't give a shit about you. A lot of them are just getting high before the shift begins. You got to deal with that. I think I mentioned this before. I got a tray of shots one time. It was dirty. And there was a rolled up piece of paper there. It was a rolled up $10 bill. Now, we all know what that rolled up bill was being used for. But the problem is, it's pretty much being done right in front of the club. It gets to a point where nobody gives a fuck. And that is when the work suffers. That's when people start passing out. And I'm the one, and my staff are the ones that don't get their tip out. And a lot of times, people miscount the money. Even bartenders, they're guilty of that. We all do it sometimes. But when it happens, they're the ones that should get blamed, not us. So this ended up happening one night, and we had no idea what was going on. We were told just after the shift, clean up like we always do, meet us downstairs. Now, this is one thing a lot of people don't realize, is when you work at a club, especially one that's, let's say, in a downtown area, a lot of these buildings are old. They got like freight elevators there that might have been down there since like the 1930s. Who the fuck knows? God only knows how many cum stains have been on that wall. I'm just being honest, guys. Nobody's cleaning down there. It's fucking disgusting. It looks like one of those old theaters, with stupid velour couches or whatever. It just looks like a fucking mess. So we're down there, and we're just waiting. We're like, what's going on? I don't know. Do you know? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know what the fuck's going on. You know, me, I just want to fucking go home and sleep, whatever. And we see two guys that are, we're just assuming they're friends of, the owner or the manager, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. One guy's a bigger guy, whatever. The other guy, he's, a little bit taller, skinnier. He had a huge gold chain on. I mean, huge. Like, it looked like he just won gold in the Olympics. And, they're just talking casual. And then all of a sudden, the guy with the gold chain just punches the other guy right in the face. We don't know what happened. It happened so quickly. After he's like, don't fuck with me. Don't talk back. And then, of course, we're all just frozen after this. I mean, it killed the whole mood. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So he comes in the little room there because he was just on the side there talking to the guy who he just punched in the face. And a couple other of his friends, come behind him. But he's the one doing all the talking. And he's like, okay, guys, gather around. We're like, okay. We gather around, and, we're like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know, what the fuck? And he goes, listen, I know one of you guys stole from the till. We're short a lot of money. Long story short, we're going to give you guys 5 minutes to decide which one of you guys stole it. We'll be back. So then we're all looking at each other like, the fuck? I mean, did you steal it? Did you steal it? I mean, there's a good, whatever, 10, 11, 12 of us, whatever. Nobody says anything. I didn't take it. Obviously, fuck, if I took it, I wouldn't be there. But we're all just like, what the fuck? Nobody took anything. So he comes back after 5 minutes, and he goes, so, who took it? And again, we're all just looking at each other like, none of us took it. We didn't, we're just all shaking our heads, whatever. And then he goes, okay, nobody wants to admit they took it, eh? Okay. So he points to the one guy. This guy was one of the new bartenders. I think he's only been working there less than a month or something. Kind of a bar back to whatever. It's funny too. This guy told me a whole story how he used to be a bartender in Australia. He wasn't Australian. He just worked there for a while. That's one thing I should have mentioned before is clubs in different areas of the world are just so different. I mean, I'm from Canada. Like I said before, they're just glorified basements. I mean, there's nothing special about these clubs. Some of them look decent, whatever. Same thing in the States. Some of them are a little bit better, whatever. You go overseas, that's where the shit looks awesome. I mean, I went to a club in Greece. It was called The Sex, or translated to The Sex. And it's a club you'd see like in, like in a movie or something. It had different levels, all the light. It looks awesome, It really does. It looked like this is what a club should look like. This is an actual real club, Not like you turn on the lights here and, you see the cockroaches and a girl passed out on the couch, for 2 hours and, But anyways, so he had to go through a lot of shit back then. Like he told me there was an incident where he got tied up after a shift. He got robbed. I mean, they took everything and, they gagged him. They tied him up. They took all they even took the change. There was one night where he saw some guy get hit in the head with like a knife or a hatchet right in his head or something. I mean, the guy saw some shit, So this guy's already been through enough. Then they pick out this guy and they're like, you, come with me. So the one guy with the chain drags him into, one of the miscellaneous basements, In my head, I just kept thinking of the scene in Casino where they caught the guys, cheating in the card game, and then the chainsaw comes out, It just, they just whip out the hammer and just bash the shit out of it. But anyways, so then again, we're all there. We're just standing and waiting, whatever. They're all just looking at us. I mean, some big guys there, some, guy. I mean, I remember this one dude specifically. He was 5'3", but he was literally 20, 25 feet wide, whatever. I mean, I was a big motherfucker. And, then like we have no idea what's going on in the other room. I mean, God only knows. I mean, maybe they're just, beating the shit out of this guy or slapping him with phone books, because they don't leave a bruise. That's what I've heard. I don't know about that by experience. I'm just telling you what I heard. Anyways, then like I said, the guys are keeping an eye on us. And then this guy that comes in, I think he was the owner, and I swear to God, he looked like fucking Scarface. Like exactly like the way Al Pacino looked like in Scarface. Exactly, same haircut, same build. Like he didn't have the scar, obviously, but he's just smoking a cigar. Like he didn't say a fucking word. He just kept looking left, right, BA, start, whatever the fuck. And, we're all just like, dude, what the fuck is going on? So then, again, they're all just looking at us, and we're just like, hey, how's the weather? And so then finally, the gold medalist here comes out with our buddy here, who's the bartender, and he kind of had like a very disconcerting look on his face. And, he didn't have any bruises in his face or nothing, nothing like that. But we found out later on he got a couple punches to the gut there, and we roughed him up a bit, and it was fucked up, and then they were talking to us afterwards and say, if you guys ever see anything, let us know. I don't know, like don't steal from us, and this is the thing I'm always gonna remember is. I remember I told you about the guy who's like 5'3", but 12 feet wide, 20, 25, 30 feet. I mean, the guy was like a mini Hercules or something. But anyways, he might have said one of the funniest things. And like at the same time, we're all still in shock, so we can't like react, we can't sneeze or else, we're gonna think we're next or something. But he said the funniest fucking thing, one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. He goes, when you come in this club, you look outside and you may not see it, but there's an invisible Italian flag. Don't forget that. Now, everyone else is still scared shitless. I'm trying so fucking hard not to laugh my ass off because I know if I laugh, I'm next. But like, I'm half Italian. Like, it's such an Italian thing to say that. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm trying so hard not to laugh. Like, I'm kind of like, and. We all just like walk out of there. I'm kind of covering my head because I'm still trying not to laugh in front of him. And yeah, I mean, I worked there a couple times after that, but after that, man, it kind of just killed it for me, And like I said, I wasn't getting paid as much. And I even talked to the guy after, and I was like, dude, you okay? Like the next shift, whatever. And I'm like, dude, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I was like, I didn't see any marks. He's like, yeah, well, they punched me where it doesn't show marks, whatever, right? And you know what? It turns out that one of the girls, miscounted, because that's what happened a lot too. Like a lot of the girls would be fed all these shots by the patrons and whatever, and they would just pass out. If one of them passed out of the night, so, like some of these girls needed like an ambulance after. That's how much they drank, and we didn't get that tip out. So that could be like anywhere between 10, 15, 20, 25 bucks that none of us get, So, and also keep in mind, when you work at a lot of these clubs, my best advice to you is, unless you're the owner of the club or possibly a huge bouncer, do not hit on any of the girls because you have no idea which one of these girls is going out with someone. And again, I'm going to say this once again. I think I've said this at least 3 or 4 times in a lot of these podcasts, but there is no mafia. But at the same time, just pretend there is one and don't hit on anybody's girl, okay? They're not a fan of that. Also heard another story when I was there. There was always this one bartender there, and there was kind of like this kind of joking rumor that he was kind of always hitting on the one manager's girlfriend there, and I heard later on they ended up getting caught like going on a date or something. And I mean, listen, I don't know what happened to this guy after. I don't want to know. Okay? I don't want to go to court again. The point is, just don't do it. Okay? You don't know. Okay? They are on the hustle. Okay? They're trying to make money. I'm not saying they're all, drug addicts or alcoholics or whatever. A lot of them are really nice people. Although I have seen situations where you go there, you give them a certain amount of money, they give you back the wrong change. Always keep an eye on your money, okay? If you're a woman, you go to a club, keep an eye on your shit, okay? Keep an eye on your purse, keep an eye on your phone, keep everything like literally close to you, okay? Never, ever, ever, ladies, never, ever, ever let your drink out of sight. I've never seen anybody actually spike someone's drink, okay? But you hear it happens a lot, okay? So make sure, when you're at a club, either finish the drink and then go to the bathroom, bring the drink with you to the bathroom. And sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes they give you like a little table there so you can put your drink on there. I wouldn't even trust that shit, because there was one time I had to do a job and that was my job, just to chill there, whatever. It was an easy gig, whatever. But again, first of all, I don't even recommend even doing that job, simply because you're always going to have people come back and they'll be like, oh, where's my drink? Oh, this isn't my drink. I'm like, dude, I don't give a flying fuck. And that's another thing too. Like, I really have to pound this in people's heads here, okay? I almost hate to burst your bubble. When you go to a club, unless you actually know the person ahead of time, like the bartender, the server, the bouncer, we're not your friend, okay? I'm gonna give you a huge shocker here, guys. Okay, you might think that like we're friendly to you, and we're your friends and we're gonna help you out. It is a job like anything else. We don't give two shits about you. That is just the honest facts. Okay, I'm there. Me personally, I'm there to do a job. I can be a nice guy about things. It's cool with me. But at the same time, we are not your friend. Please, 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 do not think of us as your friends. I can't put enough emphasis on that. I really can't, like if something goes wrong, you say, oh, this guy saw it. I didn't see shit, okay? I don't give a fuck what happens to you in there. I'm concerned if you fuck up, I throw you out. That's it. That's basically what I'm concerned about, okay? So keep an eye on your shit, and we're not your friends, okay? Also, keep in mind when you go to a club, as I mentioned before, try to dress appropriately if you can. That means wear pants. That means wear a decent shirt. I'm not saying, if it's summertime, it's a bar / club, whatever, that's fine, I guess, whatever. But if there's a dress code, it's definitely in full effect. Keep in mind that if you wear running shoes during the week, you may forget that you're wearing running shoes now. Or some nice shoes. I know, I get it. It gets pricey. I get it. I heard this funny thing one time where John Belushi was hanging out with Joe Walsh, and they couldn't get into this club because they needed black pants. And apparently they went into some alley and they found some black paint, and they literally painted their pants black, and they were able to get in. Now, I'm not recommending you do that. That's already been done. But if you can find just a decent pair of pants that fit you, that look okay, that don't have rips in it. I don't know, ripped jeans are coming back for some reason. I don't know why the fuck why. But, just do it, And ladies, I can't stress this enough either. If you bring one of your boyfriends or boyfriend, I don't judge, whatever people you're seeing. Same thing with guys. If you bring your girlfriend's wife, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Please make sure that you try not to hit on other people while you're there. I know you're going to get shit-faced. I know you're going to make a lot of mistakes in life. Okay? I get that. I completely get that. But I don't want to break up a fight because somebody's hitting on someone else's girl. If you go there solo, be aware of who's going out with who. Just act right, man. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're going to a club and getting drunk does not give you the right to be an asshole. It just doesn't. I worked at a venue one time where, it was inside a club, whatever, and, it was a nice birthday party going on. The birthday boy was already shit-faced, and he got kicked out of the club, and it was 10 fucking 30. Who the fuck gets thrown out of a club on their own day, on their own VIP access booth, whatever, at 10:30? It fucked up everything. All these people kept coming by. Why'd you kick him out? Why'd you do it? Like, bro, just relax. Yo, guy, bro, easy. Just fucking relax. The drinks aren't going anywhere. We're still going to overcharge you. It's okay. Relax. We're still going to mark up the prices at least 1,000% on a bottle just for you. Don't worry. It's not going anywhere. Relax. How the fuck do you get kicked out of it even before opening? Good Lord, man. And listen, if you go to a club, okay, you see the club atmosphere out there, okay? You see the long lineups. You see the lineups at 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12, people waiting. And in Canada, of course, they don't give a shit. They're going to wait minus 15, minus 20 weather. What are you, stupid? Just go in there. And even if you can't go in there, even if you got to wait in line, don't do it. It's not worth it. There's nothing else in there. Nothing. Nothing. You got couches at home you can sit on. Just chill. If you got to wait outside to go to a club, it is a pure strategy for the club, okay? If you guys haven't figured this out by now, okay? There's nobody in that club. If you see a lineup outside a club, 10:30, 11 o'clock, there's literally nobody in the fucking club but staff. That's it. They're doing it just to build up their rep. That's it. That's it. It makes the club look more busy, okay? And then you go into the club, okay? I know I have to say this, but it's 2019, you know, and unfortunately, I don't know, Toronto is really going to shit the last couple of years with this, but I do have to say this just for everybody in the world. Don't bring any fucking weapons, okay? Don't bring any knives. Don't bring any shanks. Don't bring any fucking guns. Don't bring any 3D guns, you know, that you made from a printer. You know, don't bring fucking anything. Don't bring toothpicks. Don't bring anything. Nothing. You want to bring your smokes? Cool. Everybody needs to smoke. That's cool. But, you know, you know, you go out to a club and all you want to do is just have a good fucking time. Like, you don't want to worry about, like, if you're going to make it at the end of the night. I've worked with bouncers that have literally come in before a shift. You know, big dudes, big, like, I don't know if they're on steroids. I don't know what the fuck is their problem. But they literally will go in there at like 10:30, 11, and they will just start shit for no fucking reason. Like, they just come in angry. Maybe they're high on something, who knows? And like, I remember this one guy, you know, he's like, oh my God, I'm so pissed off. I hope there's a fucking fight tonight. And first of all, I'm looking at him like, I mean, you know, easy, you know, but I can't say that, you know, because the guy's fucking 3 times my size. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, motherfucker, are you the reason why I got to stay here till 4 a.m. talking to the cops? Listen, officer, I just met this guy. I think his name is George Dickhead. And I didn't know he was going to act like this. He seemed like such a nice guy. And, you know, of course, it was the other person's fault for, you know, stepping in front of him. You know, like I don't want to make up some bullshit. I had a situation one time where a woman just refused to leave a club. And that's what happens a lot too. When you're a bouncer, you got to put up with a lot of shit. And people don't want to leave. Even when you tell them, look, you got to leave. If someone tells you to leave, even like at 2:15, 2:30, just take it as is. But you shouldn't even fight it, even if it's like, you know, 12:31, whatever. But in this situation, it was already late in the night. She could have just said, you know what, I'm done. Blah, 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 blah. That's it. But of course, 2 women bumped into each other. What's your problem? No, it's your problem. When women fight, they always go for the hair first. The longer the hair you have in a club, the more of a target you will be and more disadvantaged you will be in a club fight. Absolutely. Okay? If you got short hair like Halle Berry did in 1995, you're good. If you look like fucking Goldilocks, you are screwed, okay? Hopefully you're wearing a weave, okay? So worst case, you know, someone just pulls that shit, it rips right off. But once a woman grabs another woman's hair in a fight, they will not let go. They will not let go. It is like they have super glue on their hands, and that fucking shit is not going anywhere. And it's almost impossible to break these two up. You know, you got to be careful these days, especially if you're a guy. You know, nothing. No touchy and wrong placey, whatever. You know, I've been scratched by women. There's one girl in that fight scratched me like all along my arm. You know, looked like fucking, a Wolverine. Just went at me, and it's crazy. And the one guy, he didn't know. Like apparently he was like the boss's son or some shit. He knew the owner. I don't know. Fuck. I mean, that's a whole nother fucking thing. I don't know, when you got to deal with boss's sons there, and oh yeah, I know the boss, and yeah, sure you do, but, and he literally just the girl, like he whipped the girl to the ground and literally dragged her out by her hair, like caveman style, and then like I don't know how this fucker got my email after. And, he started emailing me the next day, like, oh, dude, you have to write this thing saying I didn't do this. I'm like, dude, fuck off. Like, are you serious right now? And I heard about this guy, too. Apparently, he's one of these, like, trust fund babies. I don't know. He's been set up by his rich uncle or some shit. I don't know, whatever the fuck. And, and this guy obviously doesn't want to get a thing. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to court for you. I told you, like, I didn't see nothing. You shouldn't have done what you did. But at the same time, I don't believe in the mafia, but do I believe in the Russian mafia? Maybe. But all I'm saying is I don't want to be part of this shit, and just leave me the fuck alone. But again, you got to deal with stupid fucking people. Who's got the biggest dick in the room? Fuck, I don't give a shit. As long as you can piss, just leave me alone. Fuck. So you got to be aware of also the people you work with. And it is a huge pain in the ass. Okay? And again, let me just say this. One time I was at a club working, and there's a whole thing where, sometimes you're given a ticket, you get tickets for free drinks and blah, 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 blah. Can you guys do me a favor? When you are in line with a ticket, can you not put the fucking ticket in your mouth and then hand it to me? Like, I'm beside the guy there that's keeping an eye on the box there. I'm there, I'm protecting him, blah, 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 whatever. It's all good. And, we would look at each other like, did he really just put the shit in his mouth and then just hand it to us? Like, we wouldn't take it. Like, we would literally put our hands out. And I'm not saying, like, I'm a germaphobe or whatever, but I'm like, dude, that's disgusting. I mean, come on, And it's flu season, man. It's flu season. I don't want to touch your fucking shit. I never understand that, like, in general, when people put shit in their mouths, like even when they're paying for shit. Like, I've seen people put money in their mouths. Like, are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Really? Like, it's just disgusting. We put our hands up, like, dude, just put the shit in the box. That's it. It's all good. Okay. And another thing I'd like to bring up. When you go to a club, okay, you see the little VIP areas, which I think in a lot of clubs is really just a stretch. I mean, it's literally just like 2 couches, a shitty table, 1 jug of OJ, 1 jug of cranberry juice. That's all it is. But anyways, it is reserved for people, okay? I don't know why they reserve it. I'd rather just stay at home and chill. But they reserve it. And, I'm sorry that you have a blister on your foot, but you can't sit here. You can sit anywhere else, but you can't sit here. That's what happened one time. A woman, again, she sat down there. I tried to explain to her. I'm like, ma'am, this is reserved. You can't sit here. She's like, oh, no one is sitting here. What do you want me to do? I'm tired. You don't tell me what to do. I'm like, that's right. I don't tell you what to do. But in this case, I'm going to tell you what to fucking do. You got to leave, okay? Get out. All right? I'm getting pissed off here. I've told her 3-4 times already. Politely. That's it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to call someone who is going to make me look like Mickey Mouse. Called them. They got her out. That's it. One thing I've learned in life is you can't argue with a woman. You cannot. I mean, you can. You probably will live. But if you argue with, I don't mean to sound racist, but a black woman, an Indian woman, you will not win the argument. You will absolutely not win the argument, okay? And again, I'm not racist, but All the guys out there, you know exactly what I'm saying. Okay? And it's late at night, you're a little tipsy, nothing's going to go anywhere. Just sit anywhere else. That's all. We're not the bad guys here. You know, we endure a lot of shit, but, you know, just keep that in mind. We're here to help you. Would you like me to get you a chair? I mean, obviously that's not going to happen, but I'm just saying, I mean, you can, you know, go somewhere else to sit. You can literally sit anywhere else. But people pay good money to sit in these chairs and respect that. It's not that I'm trying to downgrade you. Just respect the fact that someone else paid money for this seat. That's all. Now, when you guys are dancing in a club, you guys can do whatever you want. I don't care. You can grind, you can whine, you can do whatever the fuck it is that makes you happy. I don't care. But one thing you gotta be careful is when you're grinding near the speakers. Now, let me give you an example. One time I was doing a job, easy job. Not a lot of people showed up that night. It was really cold, good money. Anyways, so I see this couple. They're just grinding on each other like crazy, you know, like the world is about to blow up in 5 seconds. And the guy takes the girl, puts her on, you know, the big speaker. Sometimes you go to a club, they got like a big speaker right in front. You know, that shit's not going anywhere. She put her on top there, and he's just dry humping the fuck out of her. Okay? I get it. Okay? I think condoms are too expensive too. But you know, this woman was literally gonna like get knocked over. Like she was tilting, and I had to run over there. I kind of like, I'm just hoping that she doesn't, you know, like crash down and split her head open. And like the guy is not giving a flying fuck. You know, I mean, this is clearly a lot of aggression is coming out of here. And you know, I'm like, dude, there's a couch right there. You know, I get it. You like to mix it up, you know, but you know, I don't want to be in court one day saying, Your Honor, they were just grinding and just having a good time. And I didn't think, you know, it was going to split her head like a mango. I wasn't aware that this was possible. I didn't know. I didn't know. So, just be careful when you dance. I can't believe I have to fucking say this. But actually just be careful when you dance, okay? And can you please not feel each other up in the middle of the dance floor? Can you have a little class, please? Okay? And again, it's not really so much the people that go to clubs normally. I always find it's more the people that are, you know, a little too extra lit, if you know what I mean. People that, again, are used to, you know, things that are different overseas. You know, I'm just saying, you know, I don't mind. I'm still enjoying the show. But at the same time, you know, I got people watching me. They expect me to do something. I'm not going to get my hand out of there. You know, again, that's what bathroom stalls are for. Monkey no see, monkey no do. You know what I mean? That's just the old saying. Okay? So just, you know, keep it classy. Keep it classy. And that goes for men and women. Okay? Now, great thing about going to a club is that you get to socialize with different people. You get to meet people that you usually wouldn't meet. But like I said in the first 1 minute of the podcast, is me and my excellent style of Gino beats I did. You can't hear fucking anything. I go to most clubs, I can't hear fucking shit. And that's the problem, is that I got people yelling in my fucking ear. Of course, all this spit is flying and all this beer and liquor just stench going right into my ear. And God only knows, like, I probably have like Bacardi droppings in there from like 2005. And like, it is just fucking disgusting. So, I mean, that aspect of the club, I just never understood. Just like the loud music, and I get it, like, you know, like when you're amped and shit, like it's cool. I get it. But don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. If you can do some sign language or something, or better yet, like type it on your phone and like just, you know, like type something on your phone, like say something like this, you know. I lost my bag of Coke. Can you please help me find it? Now, obviously, I'm not going to help you find your Coke. You know, realistically, if you wait in the bathroom for 10 minutes, probably something will happen naturally. I'm just assuming. But at the same time, I don't want to be a part of this, you know. The whole bathroom scene there, that's another thing. If you're going to do your shit, go to the bathroom. Don't think you're better than anybody. Yes, we can see you at that table 20 feet away, putting your head down. We can see you. Yes, we can see you. We know it's dark in there, but we can see you. Okay? Please, again, have a little dignity. You know, we get it. We all have stepfathers and mothers that we're not proud of. But please, have some self-respect. Just a little bit. Okay? Thank you. Speaking of thin white things that annoy me, white people, okay? Here's my advice to you, okay? Just to be on the safe side, okay? I love the Notorious B.I.G. so much. One of my favorite rappers of all time. One of the best rappers of all time. I'm not going to say he's the best rapper because God only knows how much shit I'm going to get for that. But he's one of the best rappers of all time. We all know that. Okay? Now, for the most part, when you go to a club, they play most recent songs. For the most part. You know. But they always go back and play some of that old school shit. Which to this day, I still love. One of my favorite songs by the great Frank White is Juicy. Now, we all know there's a certain point of that song where he goes, now you don't know, now you know. I'm not going to say it. But we're in a club atmosphere. I always find it fascinating how you'll have anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 white people. I mean, really white people. You know, they look like they're bandmates of Maroon 5. It just, and then that part will come out. And if you don't know, now you know. And you will hear every single one of them say it. Now, I'd like to know why that is okay. And then if someone else says it in public, it's not okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to say it's not okay. Is it funny from my perspective? Absolutely. But it is not okay. Unless you're Will Ferrell doing Robert Goulet on Saturday Night Live, you can't say it. Okay? That's just it. But then again, that's that club atmosphere. You get so fucked and so much into the song, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People just go fucking nuts at a club. So all I'm going to say is this. We've covered a lot of ground here today, I feel. I'm exhausted. I never want to work at a club again. Hopefully I never have to, especially what's going on in Toronto now. Every fucking weekend, it's just more fucked up all the time. But I digress. All I'm saying is, just when you go to a club, know how to act, be polite, be respectful of others, and just have a good time. That's it. You know? And then when it's the end of the night and the lights turn on and you look around and you see all the rips in the couches and the stains everywhere and you're like, you know what? I could have did this shit at home for free. Because clubs are not what they used to be. The best club of all time is by far Studio 54. Now, for those of you who don't know what Studio 54 is, like I said before, it's the best club of all time. I mean, I can't think of a club in history that will be remembered as much as Studio 54. I have 3 regrets in life. Not being there for Woodstock, not being there for Studio 54, and not seeing Mos Def live at the Phoenix in Toronto. But I can talk to you about the best club experience that people have ever had on planet Earth, courtesy of Wikipedia. Studio 54 is a former nightclub and currently a Broadway theater located at 254 West 54th Street. Gee, I wonder where they got the name from. Between 8th Avenue and Broadway in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. The building, originally built as the Gallo Opera House, opened in 1927, after which it changed names several times, eventually becoming CBS Radio and Television Studio 52. Now, everybody knows what New York is. New York is one of the biggest cities in the world, one of the most known cities in the world. Even when they tape a movie and it's not even taped in New York, they say it's New York. I got news for you guys. It's either Toronto or Vancouver. But New York is just known all over the world. So right there alone, you're going to attempt to make one of the biggest clubs of all time, and you've already picked the best place to do it in. In the late 1970s, at the peak of the disco dancing and music trend, the building was renamed after its location and became a world-famous nightclub. The nightclub founder spent hundreds and thousands of dollars on professional lighting design and kept many of the former TV and theatrical sets, and in the process created a unique dance club that became famous for its celebrity guest list, restrictive and subjective entry policies based on one's appearance and style, and open club drug use. Founded and created by Steve Rubell and Ian Schroeder in 1977, it was sold in 1980 to Mark Fleischman, who reopened the club after it had been shut down following Rubell and Schroeder's convictions on charges of tax evasion. In 1984, Fleischman sold the club, which continued to operate until 1986. Since November 1998, the site has served as a venue for productions of the Roundabout Theater Company and retains the name Studio 54, a separate restaurant and nightclub. Feinstein's 54 Below operates in the basement of the building. Now, this was the club, guys. If you see shots of this place, just even from the outside, it looked like it was just rammed. I mean, you couldn't see the street. Like, people were just lined up. Not even lined up. They were just like in front of like a velvet rope. And they said they put the velvet rope there just to keep out like homeless people or just people just jumping in or whatever, because I'm sure a rope is going to help. But at the same time, they had bouncers there, obviously. And, people were just waiting there to be chosen. Like, Rebel would literally come outside and like just pick people. Okay, you can come in. You can come in. You can come in. No, you can't come in. You're not fully shaven. Look at that shirt you're wearing. You can't come in. The guy was like God. He wanted the best looking people in this club. He wanted the funnest people. He didn't care, gay, straight. Like, it was just a fucking party. Nobody gave a shit. People would go in there, blow off the chairs and fucking fuck like crazy in the back, and the lights are going on and nobody gave a shit. It was just a fucking free-for-all. But of course that can't continue forever. I was told that it was only open for 33 months. That's it. But boy, did they party their asses off. It was insane. I mean, they just did whatever the fuck they wanted. They saw an opportunity and they took it. I mean, God only knows if they knew what they were doing. I mean, it got to a point where they were just making so much money that you heard stories about them hiding money in the ceilings and, which if I can give some advice to anybody out there as a side note, if you're going to steal money or launder money, don't hide it at the place you're actually doing it, okay? Have you ever heard of a safe house? Have you ever heard of an underground tunnel? I've already said too much. I'm just saying, don't shit where you eat. That's all I'm saying. But I mean, these guys did not give a shit. I mean, it just got to a point where this was normal. I mean, you do something for so long, it just becomes your lifestyle. And these guys were just basically gods. I mean, they had everybody come in there. Stallone, Liza Minnelli, which I'm pretty sure it looked like she just lived there, to be honest. Like Michael Jackson would come in. I mean, they say that when Michael Jackson made the album Off the Wall, it was inspired by his time at Studio 54. I mean, that's how big this place was. But like everything else, it's not going to last forever. It was closed within, I think, 33 months. That's all it lasted. And even a lot of clubs today, they don't last for that long. I mean, they might last for a bit, and then maybe they'll change the name and they change ownership. But most of these guys, they go in there, they make a quick buck in the next like 2-3 years, they get their cash, and they get the fuck out. That's it. And they don't give a shit about, fines or whatever. I mean, I worked at a club one time where it was Caravana, and they warned me before. They say, yeah, Sunday nights is not like normal nights. I'm like, I don't care, as long as the check clears, whatever. It was packed. People were smoking cigarettes. People were smoking weed. People didn't give a shit. And I even made a joke to the one guy I saw there just rolling up in front of me. And I was just trying to kid around, pardon my whiteness. But I'm just like, hey man, yeah, it's a good thing nobody cares, eh? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, nothing. And then he gave me like his dirty look after, like, and then there's the awkward pause between us, and I'm like, oh fuck, I just gotta get the fuck out of here, Pass me the joint. Anyways, he didn't. All I'm saying is, they ate the fine, what was it, $2,000 at the time, maybe more, I don't know. But that's nothing. But you can only do that for so long, and then all of a sudden it's closed or suspended for a week or two. And then I get a text saying, well, we're under construction for the next week or two, so there's no work. I'm like, really? There's construction in a club in Toronto during August. Wow, that's bad timing, guys. Jesus, I mean, come on, man, we're not stupid, but like, anyways, it's just like, fuck. Yeah, I mean, they're there to make their quick buck, and that's it. So, you do what you got to do, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like I said, and I'll always feel like this. I've been to clubs. I've had some great times at clubs. I've been to clubs, during my birthday. Like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's a good place to be. But I just don't understand people that just make it their lives, like every Friday and Saturday. Like every Friday, Saturday, I have to go to a club, I always find it funny that, like, I mean, you got like average guys who, I don't know, I guess, they got no game or something. I'm not saying I'm fucking Casanova or nothing, but I mean, it's just funny, like, they're out Saturday night, they're spending all this money, and they're trying to get these girls that clearly are not into them at all. And, maybe their cologne is too strong. I don't know. Maybe it's too many, buttons that are undone. I mean, this ain't Saturday Night Fever anymore, guys. It's cold out, I don't know. Have you not hit puberty yet? Like, how come you got no hair on your chest? Well, what's going on? But anyways, yeah, I'm just at home. I'm with a girl. It's already 10 p.m. I mean, the hockey game's over. We're having a good time. You get something to eat. That's it. Like, I'm a simple guy. That's all I need in life. But I get the concept of a club. I totally understand. You just want to let loose, foot loose, kick off your Sunday shoes. I still have no idea what the fuck that means. But you know what I'm saying. Like, you just want to go somewhere, somewhere lively, something to wake you up and, just let loose after the hard work week. And, yeah, it's cool. I get it. I get the concept. But there's more to life out there than just a club. you know, go have a nice dinner, go to a sports game, sit down at home, just relax. You're not missing much. I'm telling you, unless you go to a really nice club, I guarantee you, you're not missing much. To surround your whole life, every weekend, to go to a club, it's just sad. It really is. But it's like anything else. I mean, you can't do the same thing forever. You gotta try different things, you know. I got news for you guys. You know, there's women everywhere. At the grocery stores, libraries, your friend's sister, whatever. All I'm saying is just get out there and do different things. But sometimes it's nice. We can go somewhere and just literally just turn off your brain for like 2-3 hours. Sit down, have a drink, enjoy the beautiful sounds of DJ Tiesto, David Guetta, Carl Cox, Armin van Buuren, Steve Aoki, Cass Cadi, Danny Tenaglia, Paul Van Dyke. I've never heard of any of these guys. Well, a couple of these guys, well, yeah, I mean, all right. Look, all I'm saying is, listen, obviously I don't listen to a lot of dance music or electronical techno or, I don't know, whatever the music that makes your ears bleed after a couple hours. I'm just saying, you know, I mean, the irony of this is, I mean, these guys literally just show up with a laptop and make probably like $100,000 an hour or some shit, like a Skrillex. Yeah, but I don't know. What happened to the real DJs, man? What happened? What happened to... I mean, you guys remember Dr. Dre and DJ Kool Herc and Jazzy Jeff and Africa Bambaataa and DJ Premier and Curtis Blow and DJ Mustard, you know? Mustard on the beat, ho. I'm just, you know, there's so many dudes out there. Like, I don't know. It's hard to keep track of all these guys, to be honest with you. You got Funkmaster Flex, DJ Noise, Jam Master J, and Marley Marr, the Grand Wizard, and Melly Mel, Schoolie D, and Pete Rock, and Q-Tip, DJ Quick, and Just Blaze, Tony Touch, DJ Drama, DJ Muggs. Yeah! Lil Jon. Love that fucker. I love that. Man, that guy's got to be the best hype man of all time. But anyways, I mean, that's another thing too. Make sure you go to a club with a good DJ, because if the DJ's just going to play fucking, you know, all night, I mean, you know, I don't know. It really does sound like a door slamming sometimes. But anyways, yeah, just, you know, have fun. That's it. Be safe. You know. That's the main thing I want to get across too, is like when you go to a club, like don't start shit. Don't be stupid. Just go there and have a good time, man. You know? Chris Rock, like what did he say? He said something like, if someone steps on your shoe, let it slide. You know? It's going to happen. It's a club. It's going to get packed, man. You know? Just relax. Just let it go. We like to go to a place sometimes where it's dark and we can just listen to good music and just chill and, you know, eventually pass out. That's what happened to me one time at the place with the invisible Italian flag. One guy somehow, he snuck in the back there in the room where all the supplies were, and he just fell asleep like right on like the third rack there. Another guy, he passed out in the back there, and I don't know, he just turned 19. He's so shit-faced. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know where his friends went. And I don't know, he falls down. He's got these SpongeBob SquarePants boxers on. I mean, it's just a mess. Know where the fuck you're going. Know that you want to have a good time. Listen to some good music. What happened to Kid Capri? What happened to all the good times you used to have at a club. Just don't lose that essence, okay? When you go somewhere, make sure you know how to act. Make sure you don't start any shit. And make sure you have a good time and be safe. We're gonna sip Bacardi like it's your birthday. And you know, we don't give a fuck. It's not your birthday. And that's the mentality you should have at the nightclub.